Gather round, children. Children, gather round. Sophia, go there. Pass me my sword.
Slowly, Daddy.
Pass me the long sword.
Silly, Daddy.
That is the long sword of Artorius the Great. With the sword, Hadrian's Wall was built. Yo, this sword is too long for the camera. This is the sword of Hadrian, who built Hadrian's Wall in the United Kingdom. This is the latest sword I have purchased to smite the dragons and fuck them. All right, let me stop playing. All right, this is a big sword. This is a Viking sword, all right? You got to have Viking strength to hold this sword. All right, we're going to talk about the Crawford, Spence, and other fun subjects in the world of boxing. 2 singles for the strippers. Aye! Well, you know, 2 UK singles are 3 American singles. Thank you for that, Mark. Someone got that Sandy Ryan interview. Yep, got the Sandy Ryan interview lined up. For those that don't know, Sandy Ryan is going to be doing a remote Q&A here on the channel next Saturday coming up. That'll be 2 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. American time. So all of y'all want to ask y'all questions. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know how it go. What's goody, Marta Machine? What's goody, Daniel Rios? What's goody, Tyrion was good. You know what I'm saying? Napoli was good. JJ was good. Abner was good. James was good. Daniel was good. Nigel was good. Gary was good. Sawab was good. Marcel was good. Was good. Emma was good. UK Rob was good. Francis. And yeah, man, the Tim Smith interview, the Tim Smith stuff that basically highlights what I've been telling you guys for like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years, that they're gonna move from excuse after excuse after excuse not to do the fight, because they never had any intentions of doing that fight. Whatever Errol Spence Jr. said in between then and now, it counts for nothing. 60-40, 90-10, whatever he was talking about, all of that was baloney. All of that was malarkey. They had no intention of making that fight. And essentially what Tim Smith is saying now is they don't want to insult Terence Crawford by making him an offer that he'll refuse. But, you know, you didn't have to make him an offer. If y'all would have tried to do the fight when he was still with Top Rank would have gave him his guarantee, and all y'all would have had to do was give Spence his guarantee. But y'all wasn't trying to do the fight when Top Rank was in the picture, and lo and behold, Top Rank is out of the picture, and y'all still don't want to do the fight. It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street when you say that you don't want to insult him with an offer, an offer that he'll refuse, because Errol Spence wants big money for this fight too. It's not one way. It's not like Crawford's the only one that's going to want a big guarantee. Spence is going to want a big guarantee too. And that creates problems on both sides. Now, if y'all was actually trying to do the fight, y'all would realize the guarantee should be low so that the operational costs are low. Because when the operational costs are low, there's not as much risk to the promoters, not as much risk for the powers that be. And if the fight actually is a hot ticket, it'll hit the upside easy. You know what I mean? Shout out to Theo. How is Tim Smith saying Fury isn't a draw when Wilder isn't either? I saw what Tim Smith said in reference to that. And first, I'm going to tell my kids to shut up because they're distracted. Back to the point. He's not wrong. And I've been saying this. Tyson Fury in America without Wilder, what is he going to sell? We saw what he sold. We saw that in the Otto Verleen fight. We saw that in the Tom Schwartz fight. Devoid of Deontay Wilder in America, I'm not telling you that Wilder's this and Wilder's that. I'm telling you that those two guys came together to make a decent-sized fight. For the fight to be a decent-sized fight, they have to come together, because separately, neither of them sell that much. Look at what Wilder did with the Luis Ortiz rematch. Absolutely nothing. Look at what Tyson Fury did with Otto Verleen and Tom Schwartz. Absolutely nothing. They have to come together to make a decent-sized fight, because separately, they don't draw that much. So I don't really think that he was off base completely. It's kind of true. If it's Tyson Fury versus Robert Helenius in America, what is that going to sell? If it's Tyson Fury versus Andy Ruiz in America, I believe it'll sell more than a Helenius fight, but I don't believe that that's going to be a blockbuster pay-per-view. I don't. Because Tyson Fury ain't got that many, he don't got that many supporters over here to where they're just going to buy whatever fight he's in and buy whatever they put on. No, it's not like that. And I question, what is his marquee value in the UK? Because he hasn't fought there in over 3 years. When he did fight there, it was Cephas Afuri and Francesco Pianetta. None of those fights had big gates. None of those fights was big fights. It's conceivable to me that his marquee value has grown. Of course, but by how much? We won't know until he fights there. We don't know. Crawford, Fury won't sell out the O2, but that's what I mean, Sawab. That's exactly what I mean. That, you know, Dillian White was able to sell out the O2 arena with Joseph Parker. Dillian White was able to do that. And Dillian White's fights, for the most part, have been in the UK. So we have an actual set of numbers, actual metrics to gauge what his marquee value is, because we've seen what his gates do. We've seen what his pay-per-views do. Whereas with Tyson Fury, who hasn't fought in the UK in over 3 years, we don't know that you could sell out with anybody. We don't know that. You and Robert Helenius, that sells out the O2 arena? I don't know about all that. That definitely ain't no motherfucking stadium fight. You really think that they're going to be able to fill 90,000 seats, 100,000 seats with Tyson Fury versus Robert Helenius? Shout out to Napoli, who says, if Ugas beats Spence, I'll laugh my nuts off. It could be karma at its finest. It very well could be, Napoli, because you know how I feel about it, that this is a guy who's being held together by scotch tape, bubblegum, and hope. All right. We don't know what the true physical condition of Errol Spence Jr. is, because at minimum, what we know is he hasn't fought in 12 months. Why? Injuries. An eye injury kept him out of the ring last year. He was supposed to fight in the fourth quarter of the year, and what happens? He gets injured. So what does that tell us about the fighter? Whereas Ugas has fought in the last 12 months. We know that. Even if it was against an old-ass Manny Pacquiao, he still fought. He's not injury-ridden. He's not prone to injury the way that Errol is. So this could very well be a banana skin. I say it all the time. Crawford hasn't been built right for pay-per-view. Hold on. But Ugas has, Areola has, Barrios has. Exactly. Thank you, Rob. Tim Smith. See, this is what it is. He's right about some things and wrong about others. When he says that the money may not be there for the fight, given what both fighters want, you have to wonder, okay, well, what does Terence Crawford want for the fight? I'll assume that he wants something a little better than what he just made for Sean Porter. I'll say that we're playing with maybe 8 to 10 million. And I'll say that Errol Spence Jr., he probably wants something similar. So the ballpark figure for the fight and what the fighters want is at or around $20 million. Can that fight bring in $20 million? Possibly. But you know how you cover your bases. You don't guarantee these guys all this money. You shouldn't be doing that to begin with. He shouldn't get 10 and he gets 10, because then there's a big chance that what if we don't hit the break-even point? Then the people that invested in the fight, they lose that money. So if the operational costs are lower, you can do the fight. The upside is easier to hit and nobody loses any money. It's just pure green, pure profit. Now, to Tim Smith's point about Terence Crawford not being built, he's half right. The thing is, those are hypocritical words coming from someone who works for the PBC. What do I mean by that? Ruiz versus Areola didn't belong on pay-per-view. Thurman versus Barrios doesn't belong on pay-per-view. Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin doesn't belong on pay-per-view. If I'm being honest, Spence versus Ugas doesn't belong on pay-per-view. It doesn't. So for a PBC employee to try to turn his nose up at Terence Crawford, saying that he's not been built for pay-per-view, most of the guys, if not all of the guys you've put on pay-per-view, haven't been built for pay-per-view. That's why Wilder and Fury lost money in the second fight. because they wasn't built on pay-per-view. They wasn't built up for it. That's why Ortiz versus Martin did absolutely nothing. Y'all ain't even going to dare put out a set of numbers for that fight. Mike Coppinger ain't going to say nothing, just like he did with Davis versus Cruz. Tim basically, my ass squinting. Tim Smith basically told us pay-per-views haven't done well. These people will just steal it. Yeah, the way they're stealing the fights they're putting on. The way they're stealing the fights that they're putting on. He acting like, oh yeah, only Crawford's fans steal pay-per-views. They stealing Davis pay-per-views more than they stealing Crawford's, because Davis be on pay-per-view more than Crawford. So if anybody's stealing shit, it must be Davis's fans. And that's why y'all asses was so embarrassed. It ain't even a set of numbers out there for that fucking fight. How embarrassed y'all are. And it ain't going to be a set of numbers out there for Ortiz versus Martin, the same way it wasn't a set of numbers out there for Ruiz versus Areola. If you want to say that Terence Crawford wasn't built up properly for pay-per-view, you're only half right. Maybe he wasn't, but that hasn't stopped you from putting these guys on pay-per-view, and they don't belong up there any more than he does. In fact, he belongs there more than they do. He brought in either between 130,000 or 190,000 with the Porter fight. I bet you that's more than Gervonta Davis brought in with Isaac Cruz. I bet you that's more than Chris Areola and Andy Ruiz. I bet you that's more than Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz. So before you tell me that he don't belong on pay-per-view, bro, 90% of your fighters don't belong on pay-per-view. And that don't stop you from making them shitty-ass fights and putting them on pay-per-view. That's the disconnect. He's only half right. A fight like Crawford versus Brook, in honesty, it doesn't belong on pay-per-view. Crawford versus Khan, that doesn't belong on pay-per-view. And if I'm being honest, I bought Crawford versus Porter. I got my receipt, so I don't even know what the fuck Tim Smith is talking about. I got my receipt for that fight. I bought that fucking fight. But wholeheartedly, that fight don't belong on pay-per-view. How do I know? Lomachenko versus Lopez wasn't on pay-per-view. And that was a fight between champions. But that wasn't on pay-per-view. Better Be versus Vosdick wasn't on pay-per-view, and that was an excellent fucking fight. That wasn't on pay-per-view. Look, a lot of motherfuckers don't like to give the little men love, the super flyweights. Chocolatito versus Estrada 2 was a better fight than 90% of fights that's out there. That wasn't a pay-per-view. So why am I supposed to pay pay-per-view for that? Because of the guarantees. The fighters want so much money up front that, yo, dog, the only way to get you the kind of money you want is to put you on pay-per-view. And that's how we end up here. That's how we end up in this situation. The truth is that the way that it should be in an ideal world is no multi-fight contract, no exclusivity deal, and whatever the fighter gets is based on the market value of the fight, not based on a contractual guarantee that you signed 1 fight ago or 2 fights ago or 3 fights ago, because the environment might have been different 2 or 3 fights ago. In an ideal world, you do things on a fight-by-fight basis, no exclusivity deals, and the guarantees are based on the market value of the fight, because you can't give people money that's not there. If you do that, you end up losing money. And last I checked, no one, myself included, is in the business of losing money. Exactly, Jay. Charlo versus Castano was not on pay-per-view. That was one time that the PBC got it right. It was an excellent fight. I'm glad they made it, but let's be honest. Does Jermel have so many fans that he has to be on pay-per-view? Does Brian Castano have so many fans that he has to be on pay-per-view? No. So you got to put that on regular old Showtime, because they don't got fans like that to where you need to put them on pay-per-view and I need to pay $80 to see their ass. No, you can't do that because they don't roll like that. Now, Steve Kim, and shout out to Steve Kim, he highlighted the situation that Oscar De La Hoya used to have with Bob Arum, that there was no exclusivity deal, and the guarantees, they changed based on the fight. That, yo, your guarantee can't be, let's say, 5 or 6 when we know this ain't a big fight. Your guarantee can't be 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 when we know that not all the fights you're going to be in is going to be big fights. You can't just have that price tag that same price tag for every fight, because all you're going to end up doing is losing money. And way back when, in the Oscar De La Hoya era, it wasn't like that, to where, oh yeah, you got an exclusivity deal and you got to get a minimum of 6 every time you get out there. Bro, every fight ain't worth that. So you can't keep giving somebody that. Shout out to Dennis. Appreciate that, bro. You're a smart kid. Love this boxing site. It's the only one I support. I agree with a lot of your opinions. I appreciate that, bro. But here's the secret. I'm 500 years old. I seen Sullivan fight. He wasn't that good. He was good for that time, but he wasn't that good. Telling you, fucking old out here, bro. Can't see it because of the camera, boy. All this shit is gray, bro. I'm like Gandalf the Grey. But it's real shit. Shout out to Steve Kim because he brought this up yesterday when we were talking about it on Twitter. The guarantees really shouldn't be fixed because the market value of every fight is not the same. So having fixed guarantees creates problems. It loses people money and it creates problems down the line. You cannot get 5 and 6 every single time you get out there. The managers and the fighters, they don't like that because they want the guarantees. The managers and their fighters, they want those guarantees because they want to know that every time they get out there, they're going to get paid a certain amount of money. But in truth, that is unrealistic. Every fight is not worth the same amount of money. If you got a fixed guarantee, you're going to end up costing this promoter a lot of goddamn money. And then that creates problems within the sport because then fights don't happen. Marquee value dwindles. The audiences dwindle. Too many fights end up on pay-per-view that don't even need to be there based on trying to get guys guarantees that they don't deserve anyway. It's like, it's not about shitting on anybody. It's just that, yo, that's business, bro. You can't keep giving a guy 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 6 when, bro, this fight ain't worth that. Just like the Lopez Lomachenko. Just like the Lopez Camboso situation. You see what pursuing a bigger guarantee than was needed. You see what that led Teofimo Lopez to. He lost a year of his career, a year. And when he comes back, he's struggling even more to make 135 pounds. Boxers got a short window to make as much money as they can. So ideally, you want to keep a fighter as busy as you can. And no, not every one of those fights is going to be a killer. Not every one of those fights is going to be some top shelf blue chip guy or some top 5 guy. No, some of them fights is going to be Avni Yildirim's. But the more the fighter fights, the more of a profile the fighter has. Now I'm gonna open up the chat and we're gonna talk about this hot shit and other fun subjects out there in the world of boxing. Now we can discuss the Clarissa Shields versus Jake Paul situation, which really is no situation at all because they seem to have buried the hatchets. But we can mull over what particulars people wanted to talk about the other day because I didn't want to talk about it the other day since I had already did a segment on it and I wanted to wait until I upload that video.
All right, what's going on? What's going on?
Ain't shit. All right, we got Canelo Fan. Who is Canelo Fan? Because I don't recognize that person.
Yo, it's my first time being on this channel, so.
All right, Felipe Sancho.
Is that Canelo fanboy from Twitter?
I don't know, man. Man.
We will see.
What's good, everybody?
Leo, what's the goddamn deal? Jay, what's the goddamn deal?
What's the deal, Jules?
Well, yeah, the first.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
I didn't even see Mark. Mark was good. I'm gonna start it off with this Spence shit, and I feel like, yo, we shouldn't even be talking about this shit because I've been said them dudes is not gonna fight, bro. They not. It's not gonna happen. Mark, what do you think about what Tim Smith said?
Which part of it? Because he said a whole load of shit.
Well, just exclusive to the we don't want to insult Crawford, offering him some shit. Just go over that. Like, what was your when you heard Tim say that we don't know what number he wants and we don't want to insult him with something? What was your interpretation of that?
My first was that they don't want the fight because it's very easy to find out how much money he wants. Give me his phone number. Hey, Terence, how much money do you want for the Errol Spence fight? And what would be the most acceptable? And we'll get back to you. There you go. Then you know the answer.
A
Don't
30
fuck.
second conversation.
That's true. You don't get answers to questions you don't fucking ask. You know what I mean? If you don't bother to ask them, how the fuck you gonna know? I'm gonna go to Canelo fan because he's new to the panel. Canelo fan, what do you think about that shit?
I think they're not trying to make the fight happen. They're not trying to spend money on it. They're not trying to invest in it because they're afraid they're going to lose money into it. So when he's saying that, is we might not see Spence versus Crawford fight at 147. We'll possibly see it at a different way, but we're not going to get it anytime soon when he makes statements like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Lil Penny, also new to the panel. Lil Penny, did you hear the Tim Smith shit? And if you did, what was your interpretation of that shit?
Hi, Ring IQ. Thanks for letting me in. I just got in, bro, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, Tim Smith of the PBC said, right, that they don't even know what kind of number Terence Crawford is looking for when it comes to the Spence fight. This is what he said. They don't know what kind of number he's looking for, but they don't want to insult him with an offer that he might reject. So what is your interpretation of that?
Yeah, Ring IQ, a lot of these things, when they do negotiations, they negotiate high, so that because usually the A side would then negotiate it down. So I don't see this fight doing 1 million pay-per-view buys, but yeah,
I agree.
I think that, I don't know if you've heard, I think the Canelo Charlo fight will do over 1 million pay-per-view buys because Jamal Charlo is a name. Whereas these two, even though they're both names, then one of them is not Canelo. You know what I mean? And whereas Canelo has a country behind them. So a top rank, I think he was getting 4 or 5 million a fight, fighting nobodies, but he's now fighting a somebody, which is Errol Spence. So if Dillian White can demand 10 million plus 20% share of the pay-per-view, I think that's unrealistic. I think Bud should ask for maybe 7 million plus maybe 40% of the pay-per-view buys. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll get to that, but I want to go around the panel first, and I will get to that because that's a very interesting talking point. What actually makes sense given what for the fighters and the environment that we're in. Drew, I got a different question for you, Drew. Realistically, what do you think Spence versus Crawford brings in on pay-per-view? That's the same thing I thought. Leo, Leo, in the American market here today, based on the kind of numbers we've been seeing with the fights that have been on pay-per-view, what do you think Spence versus Crawford does on pay-per-view? What's a realistic number?
Okay, let me start by saying this. The amount of fuckery coming from this guy, Tim, I don't know.
Tim Smith.
Tim Smith. Oh, yeah. Look, Terence Crawford, since he moved up to the welterweight division, in every preview to Terence Crawford's fights, we can see Terence Crawford and the other top welterweights. We can see Sean Porter. We can see Keith Thurman, one-time tournament. We can see Errol Spence. Because those are the guys that they are the top dogs in the welterweight division. You are not trying to promote Errol Spence. You are not trying to promote Porter or Thurman. You are just telling the fucking truth. These are the guys that people want to see fight against Terence Crawford. But what PBC did all this time, they went so far to pull out Terence Crawford for all these graphics.
Yep.
They didn't recognize the WBO as a legit title, even when other champions hold WBO titles
Some of their own fighters, Leo. Some of their own fighters.
So what these guys are saying is, oh, this guy is not doing well, but you are sabotaging him.
Exactly.
You're actively trying to ruin his welterweight campaign. And then, look, this fight you're talking about, two welterweights in the United States with great careers, with hype. This fight supposedly in a market that makes sense with the right promotion and both promoters doing their part. They should do 800.
That okay. Hold on. Let me go around the board, Leo. Let me go around the board.
Wait, Julius. But if the PVC haven't done all this shit that deny Terence Crawford, I didn't ask for. Oh, you have to feed PVC fighters to Terence Crawford to increase. No, just talk about him like the champion that he is.
Exactly.
And they never did that. So in the USA, you are going to be able to convince a small part of the fans, the boxing fans, and a country that is built into boxing history. Some of the best fighters come from the United States.
Facts.
And now we have a divided population, the people that should be interested in the fight, but some people are gonna believe PVC, and some people are gonna say, no, dude, Errol Spence is scared. PVC is doing some fucked up shit. So you don't put all these guys together to make this fight and make some money. This fight, if it happens tonight, next week, next month, in 2 months, I think he does at best 350K.
There we go. All right. Felipe, you see the situation, you know what's being said. What does this fight do on pay-per-view?
I mean, right now, Spence's best numbers are like what, 360K, and he's coming off a layoff. His last pay-per-view did like 250 allegedly with Danny. I don't see this one doing more than 400, to be honest, because it's been talked about a lot, but it's mostly been talked about by boxing fans that want to see this fight, right? I just don't think either guy is a household name like Canelo is, for example. So, I don't think PBC wants to front the bill in this one. So I just don't see it happening, at least anytime soon. But as far as pay-per-view numbers, I don't see it doing more than 400, maybe 450.
Okay, before I pass it to Jay, let me read the super chat. 1 foot out the door says, love the channel and the boxing talks. I appreciate that. Matthias all the way in the United Kingdom says, Jules, love all the content, but buy some specs, bro. I actually have glasses. I only use them to drive. I like squinting. It makes me look mysterious and sexy. So that's why I squint. All right. So Jay, what does this fight do on pay-per-view?
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fantastic. What does it do?
Fantastic. What does it do? Okay. Well, I'm just waiting with both guys. Pay-per-view buys have done. On pay-per-view, Crawford's is not that high. It's more than like literally 100K, and Early's always cracked a little over 200, so I don't see it doing maybe. I'm with Leo's assessment, maybe 350K, no more than 400 though. That's it. That's it. And also I just about the Tim Smith shit. What he said really bothered me. He said a lot of truths, but it's just truth. I mean, I don't know who they I don't know if this guy's some front man, whatever. They just found on the street to talk to give commentary about what's going on at the TBC. But I mean, he's worried that people are going to steal. Crawford Spence. I can't believe he actually said that. And what people aren't going to steal Thurman Barrios.
Exactly.
Spence and Ugas.
Say it louder, Jay. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
People aren't going to steal whatever pay-per-view the PBC is going to put on with Tank. I mean, people didn't steal Davis, but I stole Davis Barrios, but still, I stole Davis Cruz too as well, but still, but anyway, this dude, it's like, and he, you know what I think? Let me preach right quick. Let me say, he doesn't want this. He doesn't want the Spence Crawford fight because everybody on this panel knows deep down in their heart that if Terence Crawford gets Spence in the ring, He's going to put him in the hospital. He's going to put him in a coma. He's going to fuck him up. He's going to retire him. And they don't want that to happen. They don't want that to happen. They don't want it. They don't want that shit to happen.
He's gonna Harvey Weinstein his ass.
Listen, Jay, let's be honest. That's not what they're afraid of. You know what they're really afraid of? That Errol would sooner try to make out with Terence Crawford than fucking fight him.
He wants
That's
to
what they're really.
He wants to give Bud the truth, man.
Can we just Isan? Can we just be honest? Does Errol Spence Jr. want to fuck Terence Crawford?
What the fuck?
It's a serious question, bro.
No, it's not.
No, there is.
It's making me rethink coming on to here and having to do 15 hot Hail Marys just to be able to talk to you.
Julius, chill. The alphabet people might come after you. Chill.
I'm not. I didn't say nothing bad. I just said he wants to.
Hey, he was getting busy with Yellow Beezy. We not making that up. That's on camp. That's on video.
Listen. Let me champ this shit real quick. Let me champ this shit real quick. Just real quick. I didn't say it's good, bad, or otherwise. I'm just saying I think Errol wants to fuck him. That's all I'm saying. He wants to fuck him.
Julius,
I disagree. Normally, when
remember this. There is a precedent. Do you remember that boxing film with Antonio Banderas and this other white guy that were boxers?
Play to the bone.
Play it to the bone.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, play it to the bone.
Antonio Banderas' character said in the build-up to the fight that he got beat by some Mexican guy, and he says, after the guy beat me, and I start sucking dicks for a while.
Yo,
what happened?
What the fuck?
What just happened, man?
What the fuck?
A family show.
Watch the film.
Just what happened?
No, I'm not watching the film. I don't want to see that.
Hey,
What is going on?
Shit is that, bro?
Spade, just be real. Does Errol want to fuck this guy? What's going on? I think Spade left. He don't want no parts of this conversation.
I don't fucking blame him, bro. You're out here fucking preaching Elton John's greatest hits.
No, you're at Jules.
Oh, wait. Sawab is here. I didn't get to ask
Sawab. You're asking the wrong question, Jules. Does Errol want to get fucked by Bud? Not fucked.
All right. Sawab. Somebody, Mike. Sawab. Does Errol want to fuck Bud or get fucked by Bud? What the hell is going on?
Hey, he doesn't want to even get fucked by Bud because you know you tear that arsehole apart. So he's scared.
Shit.
Look, I have a problem with this whole thing. Errol's not interested in Bud, right? In any way, whether it's in a fight or sexually. And I'll tell you what. Normally when bitches want to fuck, their nipples stand up, not down. Just saying.
Oh. So you saying that based on Errol Spence's droopy nipples, he's not excited?
He's soft.
All right. I know Rick Glazer wants to fuck Michelle Joy Phelps, but he can't afford her.
All right, let's shift gears. Let's shift gears. I do want to address that. Nobody say nothing. Let me say this about Michelle Joy Phelps. I admire Michelle, and Mark knows that because Mark was here when I said it. I admire Michelle that she has become what she has become in boxing, and she pretty much did it on her own. In so many words, she did. So if Michelle, this is where it gets weird for me, right? If Michelle want to drink wine on video and some cleavage out, why is Rick complaining about it? Like, why would that bother you? That the cleavage is like, I don't why would that bother you? If
Have
anything,
you seen Rick's wife?
I'm not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. We will not do that.
Jules, you're a stand-up guy.
It's true, but we won't do that.
Yes. You're a stand-up. Jules, you're a stand-up guy. And Jules, you from Harlem. Let me champ it. Jules, you from Harlem. You know the way Rick talks about women. Any dude that really gets women is not uptight about what women are doing in their own personal time.
Yo, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not, because like I noticed it, but at the same time, I don't want G on him. I don't want G on him because maintaining good relationships with people is important to me. So I'm not gonna come at him. I'm just asking, and I'm gonna ask you, Drew, what do you think his problem with Michelle's chest is? Like, so what if it's, I mean, like, so what if she put that there? So what? What is his problem?
I'm gonna just tell y'all know it. Rick's problem is Rick has never had a bad bitch in his life without having to pay for it. You know, I mean, just saying, Drew. You know when you're a good-looking man and you can pull a woman off straight game and a slick tongue real quick and just whisper sweet nothings in her ear. Rick never had that gift, and he always attacks women, and it is what it is. But you got some sucker shit.
There is a reason, Jules. There is a reason the man says "glaze" to a group of men on Twitter after every tweet.
Jesus Christ, we're back on this, Mark. Right. I'm gonna go to Felipe. Felipe, somebody got to sort their mic. That shit sound like transmissions from Mars. Felipe, why is Rick attacking Michelle?
I mean, yeah, I agree with what the panel said. You know, he can't get it. He can't get any himself. It seems like, judging by. Well, I'm not gonna go there, you know, but you know where I'm going with this.
All right, I'm gonna go to Canelo fan. Canelo fan, ¿qué problema tiene ese tipo, man? ¿Qué es lo que está pasando? Well, that's what's happening. Exactly. Absolutely nothing. That's what I thought. Lil Penny, you see what Rick said about Michelle, and Michelle is a fixture. She's gotten herself to that point to where she is a fixture in the sport. Hey, fight fan, she is. Hey, fight fan. And I appreciate all of it, just like I appreciate Coogan. A lot of people got a lot of bad shit.
Hey man, you know who's this other YouTuber that always had a problem with the Michelle Joy Phelps? There's that guy who just sits there and drink wine and just chat shit about people.
Ty Booth.
Ty Booth, that's the one. He calls him Michelle the Fire Phelps.
I just like Michelle's drinking wine and not mango Ciroc, like my last date.
I mean, it's all right. First, let me read these super chats because they're piling up. I believe Crawford versus Spence does a minimum of 300,000 buys, plus Tim Smith is insulting Bud's intelligence along with ours. With that, I don't want to insult Bud trash. I do agree with that. I think he's insulting our intelligence because he's going from narrative to narrative. What you're basically saying now is you should have did the fight then when he was with Top Rank, because when he was with Top Rank, you wouldn't have to worry about his guarantee. That would have been their problem. But you didn't want to do the fight when he was with Top Rank. Now that he's not with Top Rank, you're singing a different tune. Ed Perez says there are plenty of rumors that Spence is a switch hitter, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to get Crawford in bed. Listen, he's boxing's Lil Zane. He's boxing's Cisco. That's what he is. He's Cisco. He put Nokia phones in his butthole. M.A. Bustamante said, saw you on Punches Live. Does Lopez Sr. continue to sound delusional? Says he wants undisputed at 140 to 154. Says Canelo needs to step it up. I'm going to say this about Senior, right? I don't understand a lot of shit that he does because I think some of it is drug induced, but I know that he's a father. I'm being honest.
He's to lay off the coke, man. Seriously,
bro.
I'm dead ass.
Bro, he be drunk in his son's corner.
Bro, he was at the Valdez fight, offered to take pictures to cut in line of the fucking liquor line. All right,
bro. He was
real
drunk,
shit.
talking.
If he's not drunk, he must be on coke. Cause y'all remember how he came up to George Camboso's dad. Cambosos, fuck you, sucker dick.
But he got mushed right in the fucking face.
You're an MMA coach. You're an MMA guy.
Hey, you see, he hit me.
Yo, that shit was so bizarre that you gonna.
You need to slow down, bro. Get him out of here, bro.
Fuck him up, Delphine. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with it. But this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. Porque él un papá, ya can hear you, Canelo. Porque él un papá, I understand that you gotta support your child, and sometimes that's gonna make you say shit that you don't really even believe, but you gotta support him because that's your son. You know,
Jay, let me get a thing. I don't understand what type of father is gonna make their son so delusional. Bro, my dad if I do the best thing, if I win the World Heavyweight Championship, you still slap me and be like, fucking do better. That's why I think Teofimo Lopez ain't doing good. Because his dad is just...
I agree with you.
Bro, his dad said that he's gonna be the one to dethrone Canelo in the future. His dad said that he's gonna be the one to dethrone Canelo.
Jules, did you catch Barbosa's manager on Twitter? Barbosa's manager on Twitter said that they can come to a reasonable purse.
Bro, I've been talking about Barbosa for at least, I'm gonna say 7 months. They're like, yo, dog, like regardless of what happens with George, regardless of what happens at 135, ese tipo te está esperando, and it's not a game, bro. That's not no fucking DK. He been calling him out though. That's the wild shit.
All the advantages Tio had at 135, he doesn't have him at 140. He has no physical advantage over anybody at 140.
Mira, por eso es que. Go ahead, Canelo.
Man, how do you guys think he does at 140? Apparently, he's gonna fight Jose Cepeda. Man, I can't wait for that press conference. I can see his brother. Jose Cepeda and George Teofimo Lopez. I mean, his dad getting it on in the conference. I'm talking about. I can see a big ass bro. I can't wait for the press conference.
Con Chon, aunque Chon no habla mucho, no dice mucha mierda. Ese tipo, he's not for play. He is not for play. He will fucking knock you out, bro. He will.
Jules,
bro,
all Sean has to say is that there's levels to this. That's all he has to say.
That's all he got to say, and I'm gonna know.
I just know that Tio don't got no advantages at 140. He's a smaller guy.
Drew,
he got maybe some power and a little bit of speed, but he's not physically advantaged.
Is he gonna throw with confidence after he done been beat the fuck up? Is he gonna throw with the same confidence? Porque that shit is real, bro. Punchers don't take losses the way that boxers do. Teofimo is not a pure boxer. He's a puncher, bro. Eso es lo que le sirve y eso es lo que él utiliza en el 135. Que él es grandecito, tiene pegada, he hit hard. But at 140, bro, you realize that everybody up there is a puncher. Literally everybody. Josh Taylor, Arnold Barboza.
And the key is Joey Gamache gonna come back into the fold.
If he don't,
if it's just Tio Senior, he's gonna get starched. He's gonna be off top rank, and we're gonna forget about him.
You better hope.
This is out of topic, but there's a reason why Tank vacated that 140 belt. You know, in-house opponents means Gary, Anton, Russell, Saber Matiz. There's a reason why they vacated that 140 regular fight. They seen what the in-house fights look like, so he was like, "Shit, let me stay 135." And
bro, es que mira, esos tipos, and I'm not being funny, right? Pero esos tipos, they're like what 5'5", 5'7". Tú no tienes the dimensions to grow into 140 and 140. You don't have it. Josh has it because fucking Josh Taylor's 5'11". He close to 6 feet tall. Jose Ramirez, he's close to 6 feet tall, bro. It's some big kids up there. Now Regis Prograis, he's not that tall, but he's stocky as shit. Like I've been saying for a year, yo. Regardless of what happens with Loma rematch, toda esa mierda de esos tipos pequeños, Regis will beat this kid, bro. He will beat this kid. He hit too hard.
You got a granted chin too as well. He can take shots, bro.
12 rounds with Josh Taylor, bro.
Thank you.
Not 12 rounds.
Yeah, 12.
She'll brush off
with Capricorn Josh Taylor.
The fuck?
Capricorn Josh Taylor.
The fuck? It's real out here, yo. So for me, it's like, look, I don't want to, because we don't actually know who Teofimo is gonna like. We don't know if he's gonna fight Arnold Barboza. We don't know that. We don't know if he's gonna fight Chong. We don't actually know that. Pero lo que yo veo es que regardless of what happens with his next fight, even if he wins, bro, unless the title goes vacant, which is possible, it's rough seas, bro. Because you're not beating Josh Taylor. I'll tell you that right now. You're not beating.
Now, Jules, if Tio loses his next fight, is he dropped from top rank?
Yes.
Yo, you know who he's gonna fight? That fuck around and make him fight the prodigy Jose Vargas.
No, pero it makes sense. No es verdad. It does make sense. That's not bad. Like no. In all honesty, the most sensible and sensical fight for Teofimo for his first fight at 140 is Crossroads fight with Josue Vargas. That makes sense.
The loser gets dropped at Top Rank.
The loser goes to the PBC, like Elvis Rodriguez.
Oh,
PBC. Oh, damn.
Because this
me no
one of those
shit. I'm
things,
Dominican. Don't give me no shit. I could talk that shit.
Joe,
no,
you
you
lost your fight. Lost your fight,
Tio,
and you gotta go.
Shut up, Carlos Adames.
They got a problem on their hands. If Tio wins, he's going to get back to being a big head and want those other purse demands again.
Bueno, mira, ese problema que él tiene, ¿verdad? That's bigger than boxing. This generation is weird. Like, bro, realize this is the sport where Wilfredo Benitez won a title at 17 years old. This is the sport where Mike Tyson won a title, a heavyweight title, at 20 years old. You beat a featherweight, bro. I know he's a really good boxer and a double gold medalist and all the bells and all the whistles, but he was a featherweight, bro, that moved up to lightweight. Don't lose sight of that. That, yeah, it's a great win and it's dope, but don't lose sight of that. You will not have those advantages at 140. Cut the shit. You beat Loma and you knew, and I don't make excuses for Loma, but if the man's shoulder was injured, it was injured, bro. Don't act like that's not a factor. You knew that. You knew that, all right? You acting like you boss hog trying to make out with this victory. No wonder you didn't want to give him a rematch. Yeah, no wonder.
Dude, the Lomachenko fight, Lomachenko versus Tio fight was a good fight. It wasn't a super duper hyper fight. It wasn't.
Mira, Chocolatito con Estrada was a better fight than Loma versus Lopez.
Y'all ready for number 3? Yeah. They about to go at it again.
Pero quién sabe.
I hope somebody get knocked out.
I'll be there.
You know, Jay.
Knocked out? I got
bro, I don't
get knocked out. I think Chocolatito gets knocked out this time.
¿Tuviste la pelea con Cuadra? Estrada con Cuadra.
No,
this is what. No, wait. One at a time. This is my thing. I didn't like how Estrada looked in the Quadras fight, the first couple of rounds. Remember, he got dropped on his ass by Quadras.
Yeah.
And if Chocolatito, if he starts off like this is round 13, yeah, maybe you could stop this guy, bro. Because
he was hurting Estrada to the end of their fight. He was hurting Estrada to the end of their fight. He was hurting him.
He's never been stopped. He's never been stopped, though, right? He's
never been stopped. He's never been stopped.
Let me just say this real quick before anybody says anything, because I said it on a different place yesterday. I've got Chocolatito stopping Estrada this time.
Get the fuck out of here, Mark.
Yeah.
I would get the
fuck out of here.
My money's going.
I'm telling you, bro.
Don't you fucking doubt me. Every time you doubt me, you're wrong.
I'm excited. Listen, I'm fucking excited. My nipples is hard off that shit. He gonna stop him?
Round 11. Round 11.
He was hurting.
My nipples is camouflaged, but I'm very No. Okay, this is too controversial because this is too controversial. Let's not talk about this. All right, let's talk about Sorun Visay, Carlos Quadras. That's a great fucking.
That should be the main event. That should be the main event.
If that shit were to go the distance, I don't know anything anymore about boxing. That shit's crazy.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
Listen,
I got sore.
Quadras, that's what. Thank you, Jay. Quadras is good early, but he fades down the stretch. He started off strong as shit with Estrada.
Hasn't he lost to like everybody? He's lost to the other three, right? So like he ain't gonna beat
Sore.
He beat
Sore. He beat Sore years ago.
Wait, hold on. Don't say it like that. Beat Sore. Come on, that was an extremely controversial outcome. I'm not talking about the result. The way the fight ended. The way the fight was ended was bullshit.
Mark, I got a question for you. I don't want nobody to say nothing. And I want you to be honest with me. Don't fucking bullshit me. Don't play with me.
Okay.
Toyoka versus Chocolatito. What happens?
Chocolatito beats him.
Really?
Ioka's fading. I mean, I think that was his last big. I think it was his last big hurrah. I think it was his last big hurrah.
Ioka versus Sore is a better fight.
And he was taking off on him.
All right, now Rodriguez was giving him problems. He was.
Rodriguez arguably won that fight. Arguably.
Yeah, and the dude he just fought.
Now, if they reschedule, and I don't know that they are because Jerwin is with Sean Gibbons, and I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I heard that Jerwin is supposed to be fighting someone else next month, but we'll see. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah. But bro,
Yeah,
to be honest, bro, Gallo Quadras and Guy Quadras fighting are at another level above Loca and Jarwin. To be honest, what I've seen from the performances, Gallo, Chocolatito, Quadras, and the Guy Quadras, they're on another level compared to those guys, bro. But at least they're fighting each other, though.
I'm not sure. Let me say this.
Wait, I got a question for Mark. Mark, if they reschedule the Ancajas fight later on this year, does Toyoka lose the WBO?
He possibly could. The thing with Toyoka is, right, he's been a fighter throughout his career. If you look at the Rebecca fights, if you look at people who he's kind of underestimated, he ends up in fights that are way harder than they should be, like Javier Cintron. He had a tough time and he had to go through the gears. Same with Rodriguez. He was getting beat up in there and then he had to go through the gears. He never got out of first gear in his last fight. When he has higher level opposition, look at the Nietes, look at the, what's dude's name?
Tanaka.
Not Tanaka, not that. No, I'm talking about the Thailand guy who he has a loss to. Ruin wrong.
I'm not ruin, but in his defense, I'm not ruin wrong is not bad.
No, I'm not saying that he had a bad. He actually had a very good performance in that fight. I mean, he thought he should have won that fight, right? It's considered one of the bigger robberies in that division. He's a fighter who, when he's fighting against higher levels of opposition like McWilliams, Arroyo, Tanaka, etc., he rises. When he's fighting guys who he thinks he can just skate by, he doesn't train properly. Salas has talked about this on numerous occasions. He gets high outside of fights. So I think if he's not done, he will beat Ancajas. But I don't know if he is or not because his last two fights he's looked like trash.
I mean, this is the thing. Ancajas is younger. We know he's well preserved because he doesn't fight shit. He doesn't fight shit.
He's
Jarwin,
big too.
And they fight. I got Jarwin winning.
Canelo, I got a question for you. Very soon, the always active Gary Russell is going to be taking on Mark Magsayo, Manny Pacquiao's protege. He's a Manny Pacquiao promotions fighter. Does Gary keep the belt?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think he gets knocked out late. Masayo wins, but here's the thing though: if Gary wins that belt, he's gonna be forced to move up because they don't want to put him in there with Ray Vargas. So if Masayo wins, he has to fight Ray Vargas. If Gary Russell wins, he vacates it. So, but I got Masayo, Pacquiao's prodigy, knocking him out late. And Ring Russell came apart.
That has got to be the most Mexican take I've ever
heard. Mark, what do you see? Do you think Gary still has enough left to where he can? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust. I half expected Tug to beat Gary, but Gary was able to pull it out and get the W. Though I half because I'm like, yo, this dude don't fight, bro. At some point, it's gonna catch up. Is it about to catch up next month?
It possibly could because he's been inactive. He's getting older, right? But if he comes in at anywhere of the level that he showed in his last two fights, I think he's going to stop Magsayo. I think Magsayo has poor timing. I think he's got a weaker chin. He has great power, but he fights in bursts. I think Gary has too much hand speed from. Don't forget, Magsayo's had a hand speed advantage over all the guys he's fought against.
That's true.
But they're not exactly fast-handed guys. And the other thing is, they're fighting at the same kind of like intervals, except for Ceja, and Ceja was beating the fuck out of him. Ceja, a super bantamweight who was hurting him. Gary does hit relatively hard. I think he would hit harder than Ceja. I think Gary stops him.
But after 2 years, Mark, I mean, I always bring up inactivity and how much I.
Yeah, it's very important. You're right.
This guy has not fought since February of 2020?
2020.
The 8th of February 2020. It was when Artem Dalakian last fought as well before he just recently came out. Look, Gary could be old overnight, right? He not even overnight, just inactivity, everything involved, and he could get beaten. But like I said, if he comes in anywhere where he was, he wins. If he gets beat up and knocked out in this fight, he declined.
Bro, can he just lose so that featherweight can move on? Because I'm sick of Gary. Bro. I'm sick of him and I'm sick of Leo. I'm sick of both of them.
I'm sick of Casemiro as well. I hope he gets knocked out.
Leo, man.
You need to put some respect, Julius, on the longest standing champion in this sport.
longest
Today.
sitting champion because he's been on the bench for 2 fucking years. Let me read the super chat. Did you get the heat on? Hoping you are well and warm. It wasn't a heat, bro. Basically, what happened is there was a blizzard. The blizzard caused outages all in my area. Everything everywhere was off. Thankfully, everything is on now. But it was an outage. It was a complete outage in this entire area, bro, for like a week. So I had to put my family up in hotels and shit. But everything is cool now.
Just a quick question. Did you see any frost giants?
I did. I saw one.
Damn.
He said he doesn't like Errol Spence. Who is Andy Ruiz gonna fight next?
I know. I got one.
Who?
Kubrat Pulev.
Nah, he about to be in the triathlon.
No, I don't give a shit who he fights next. Really, I don't care.
He's got a box with a slice of pizza in his hand. You don't. He got to fight.
He's gonna fight diabetes. That's what he's gonna fight.
Right.
Yeah, he is gonna be in the trigon, the trimester.
For some strange reason, I think he's gonna fight Eric Molina.
Nah, he's fighting.
Eric Molina retired.
Andy?
Molina retired.
Yeah, he retired. He said he retired.
I'm not listening to that. Eric Molina has retired 4 times.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's like Dave Allen, bro. Dave Allen retired. He's fighting next week.
Floyd Mayweather retired about 100 times.
But you can't fucking go from fucking. What's his last fight, Areola to Molina, bro? Whoa.
Hey, all I'm saying, I know it sounds crazy, but if you're really trying to hit me with some logic that the PBC use when picking their fighters, I ain't listening to you.
You're right. So he doesn't fight Luis Ortiz?
He possibly could, but isn't Luis Ortiz's hand fractured and he can't enter the ring with a fight right now?
Right, he broke a pinky
All I
nail.
know is I'm taking the Ukrainian school over the Cuban school. And Frank Sanchez nonsense about Usyk not having no skills.
Can we talk about that?
Oh my God.
Drew, set the stage. Larry, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Larry because you know why? Larry is the only one who can say that kind of shit, and I'll listen, even if I don't agree. Larry is off limits. I love Larry. I'm gonna keep loving Larry. Frankie, shut the fuck up. Let's start it off. Mark, you heard the bullshit. What did you think?
Which bullshit?
He said that Usyk has no skills and he'll knock him out and Tyson Fury.
Who said that?
Frankie Sanchez.
Oh no.
Frankie Sanchez said that shit, bro.
This is the same guy who couldn't knock out Christian Hammer in his last fight. Who got?
I don't mind you not knocking out Christian Hammer. I don't mind you not.
I mind it when fucking Huey Fury knocks him out. I mind it.
He didn't knock him out.
Well, you know what I mean. If he can, either way. Look. This is my shit, all right. You cannot be fucking boring.
Did he really say that?
Yes, he said, bro. He said he has better technique than Usyk. He said he'll knock out Fury. He said he'll knock out Fury and Usyk. That's what he said.
Man, Frank Sanchez is so overhyped right now. It's ridiculous. The man's garbage.
Frank Sanchez is 45 years old.
Hey, Frank Sanchez beats Joshua, though. I can tell you that. Frank Sanchez beats Joshua.
No, he don't.
Hey, man, don't do that shit, please.
No, he don't. I'll bet if they ever look.
Trainer doesn't mean
Andy Reese. They said Andy Reese ain't beat Joshua, and Andy Reese beat Joshua. They say Usyk. I think Frank Sanchez, but I don't think
Frank Sanchez and Andy Ruiz are polar opposite fighters.
Well, first off, let me say this. Was it conceivable to me that Andy could beat Anthony Joshua? Yes, and I said that when they picked him. I said he's better than Jarrell Miller by far and wide. He's better than Jarrell Miller. It's a better choice. It's a better fight. All them videos is up. I said Usyk can beat this guy if Joshua's not careful. Don't box with him. Don't box with this little ass man. Let me set the stage. Now, Frankie Sanchez is none of those things. Frankie Sanchez is a minimalist approach, safety first boxer. That bullshit about I'm gonna tap you and run around the ring, that might work with F.A. Ajagba. That's not gonna work once you start fighting top 5 guys. I guarantee it. It's not gonna work. They will knock him out.
Can I ask an honest question to my man who said that? Does Frank Sanchez beat Anthony Joshua because you rate Frank Sanchez and you don't rate Joshua, or is it because Frank Sanchez trained? No, wait, let me. Or is it because he's trained by Eddie Reynoso?
So what is him training? No, I said because I see his skills and I see that he can outbox Joshua. I don't know if he can beat Fury Usyk, but I have a feeling I pick him over Joshua. Like I said, look at the skill set. We saw when Joshua faced the boxer what ended up happening. So I think he beats Joshua. I don't know about Usyk and Fury. I think Fury beats him, and Usyk and Sanchez. I think Usyk
Frankie
has the advantage.
Sanchez does not win a decision against Anthony Joshua with his
It's
minimalist
not a decision.
approach.
I'm trying to
He's not
tell.
used
No,
to.
listen. Wait. Stop it. Wait. Let me defend my guy for a second here. All right. Let me do this. Frankie Sanchez gets knocked out. It's not that it's gonna go to. I'm telling you, even losing to Usyk, Joshua knocks this guy out. Why? You don't throw enough. And you don't sit on your punches. You on the balls of your feet the whole fucking fight, bro. All you gonna do is give up ground and run. That's all you gonna do. Jab and run. That shit ain't gonna work. That shit, it's the same shit. It's the same shit that happened tonight at Rigo.
The level of disrespect that
all of a sudden AJ can get outboxed. AJ can get outboxed by Usyk. All of a sudden, Frank Sanchez is able to outbox Joshua.
The level of disrespect AJ gets from people is unbelievable. AJ has 6 to 8 champions, I believe. Who the fuck has Frank?
Put Frank Sanchez in the ring with Robert Hellenius, and then we'll start talking.
Nah. You know what I'm gonna say? You know what I'm gonna say? And I'm about to be a real fanboy, but I don't care because I'm allowed my moments of weakness. The fucking Povetkin that fought Anthony Joshua would smoke Frankie Sanchez like a fucking ham. Like a fucking ham.
Dillian White will smoke.
That does not make you a fanboy.
Frankie and I'm gonna go with my Drew shit. I'm on my Drew California shit. And I don't give a shit. And Lennox is my man. Lennox, you my man. But Cuban school sucks. I don't give a shit. Cuban school sucks.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
No. Cuban school sucks, bro.
Papachenko and the Ukrainian school.
Yo, you're Dominican.
Fuck, Cuban school sucks, bro. Give me Ukrainian school with the powder berets and the pivots any old day of the week. Cuban school sucks.
Yo, give
bro.
Frank Sanchez a fade and shut up.
The only Cuban that exists in my house is Uniel Dorticos El Keo Doctor. Other than him, them guys don't count.
Julius. Their style is boring though. That's why they don't do it in professional boxing.
And I'll give David Morrell the benefit of the doubt.
Wait. Otto Wallin beats Frankie Sanchez now.
Yes.
Yep.
Possible.
Forget that shit. My man from Croatia, Filip Hergovic, beats that motherfucker. Knocks his ass smooth out like a pair of khakis. Cut the shit.
Daniel Dubois will beat Frank Sanchez.
Possible. Joe Joyce would annihilate Frank Sanchez.
That's what I was gonna say. Joe Joyce could beat Frank. I don't know about Daniel. I feel like the movement. I feel like the movement.
Daniel just has to land one on him, and that's it. How far is he gonna run?
FA landed one on him. Does Daniel hit harder than FA?
Frankie Sanchez doesn't even stop fucking Chris Areola.
Bruh, let me read this. Let me read the super chats. Superfly is on fire. Ancajas versus Martinez is also on the undercard of Vargas versus Smith. Really? With Rumvisai and really? Oh shit, I like that. I didn't
Wait,
know
hold on. Where was that on this? Let me go see that shit.
Check the box rec.
I'll go check the box rec right now.
Liam Rockwell says, watch WBA Aram strip Leo Santa Cruz. Of course, and I want them to strip him because I'm tired of Leo. I've been tired of Leo.
Jay, so the card is Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith, Carlos Cuadras versus Rungvisai, and Jerwin Ancajas versus Fernando Martinez, not Julio Cesar, Fernando Martinez.
Well, that's all right. I mean, shit, at least he's not stuck on PBC Island. I'm okay with that.
I've been done with fucking Leo ever since they all ducked Rigo when he came over to PBC.
Look, this is what I'm gonna
see Rigo fight, bro. Come on now. You got
not me.
See the fuck Rigo.
Not me.
When they were all at the same weight, those were good fights. All of them.
No, hell no. Rigo's...
No, espera. Vamos a decir la verdad. Había un tiempo that Rigo was an exciting, fun fighter to watch depending on who his opponent was. There was a time when he had the in and out game to deal with an aggressive guy. That was years ago. El Rigo que está aquí hoy, I don't want to see that dude, bro. No, I don't want to see that dude.
Not even a picture.
I don't want to see, bro, the fucking Liborio Solis fight. The fucking Casimir. That shit is awful to watch, bro. Nobody want to watch that shit. That's just like look. That's just like when Sonny Edwards beat Mithilane. Yes, I'm impressed that you didn't get knocked out because most people pick you to get knocked out. That's cool. But in the greater scheme of things, do I want to see you just jabbing, moving, jabbing, moving, jabbing, moving, jabbing? I don't.
Yo,
I don't.
who do you
I
got
don't.
on the
5th of February for the
Who do
catch.
you think I got? He gonna do him the same way he did his brother. You crazy? He gonna do him the same.
Like, I don't personally don't like Sonny Edwards, bro. He runs his mouth too much. So like at this time, I do want to see Martinez, like just annihilate him, destroy him, like end his boxing career. So I got Martinez.
Sonny Edwards will not come through Ricardo Sandoval.
You don't think he's gonna win that fight?
No way in hell. That dude's an animal.
No, Sandoval beats Sonny Edwards too.
But that's who Sonny has to fight him. He's mandatory now. Sandoval absolutely fucking killed Jay Harris. Killed him. And then he got into the ring there with Carlos Buitrago, who's an extremely good fighter, very capable, very seasoned, veteran, very crafty. Destroyed him. Fucking destroyed him. The kid is the truth, man. I'm telling you.
All right,
This kid is scary. He's scary.
Mark, I got a hot take. Standing 8 says Sanchez does put Joshua to sleep if Joshua watches him fight.
Hey man, that theory works just as well as Wilder knocks out Fury if he lines the ring with cocaine and Fury's down there for more than 10 seconds.
That's true. That's actually true. In an alternate reality, that shit is true. This the
y'all,
shit. B.
Y'all see Joseph Parker
Choking on heavyweight.
around, dropping off the Kinahan packs when Joseph Parker left his family.
Bro, why you think he's so cool with
I love
Fury
that
now,
shit.
B? Them dudes is moving work, bro. Them dudes is moving work.
No, that's a sexual relationship that I'm
Meanwhile, Joseph Parker's
more
wife
believing
was
in.
crying because he had to leave for training camp, and training camp's over, and Parker still ain't went home.
Bro, you know what the shit is? Parker over there sniffing lines of coke with Fury, fucking strippers and prostitutes, bro, in Vegas. He don't want to go back to New Zealand. They don't got hookers in New Zealand. Everybody go to. I'm just playing. Stop talking shit. Stop talking shit.
You can't hit up a hooker in New Zealand right now, man. Nobody's dick is 2 meters.
But Jules, everybody on
Anthony Joshua versus Usyk on April 2nd. What are we saying about that?
Hey,
All
y'all ready for the fight of the year? Rolly versus Tank Davis? Y'all ready? That's the fight of the year.
Bro.
Y'all ready to see the next superstar boxing, Edgar Berlanga?
I'm
That's
hoping-
the pound for pound king.
Bro. Nah, but real shit, he'll knock out Steve Rose, though. He will knock out
I don't know. I do not know about that. Steve
No, I
Rose
think
won. He
Steve
looked
Rose-
good in his. Hold on. I think a lot of people are saying because Golovkin beat Steve Rose. Steve
No, I
Rose.
saw him. I saw him on Rivas versus Rosicki. I liked it. I liked how he looked, but I don't think he.
But let me ask you the question: did you see Berlanga against Caceres? He didn't look good.
Oh God.
He got dropped. You're right about that. You see how he damn near almost got stopped?
Nah, I'm gonna ask
Yo,
y'all
you
a real
almost killed
question.
him, bro.
I'm gonna ask y'all a real question. Fuck them dudes. Rosicki, Bobic.
Oh shit.
That's a fight.
I got Rosicki, to be honest.
I got
Me
Rosicki.
too. I got him.
I got Rosicki. I'm like, yo, I never seen that dude until that Rivas fight, but I seen everything I needed to see. That motherfucker will knock out Alen Bobic.
Bobic-
I seen everything I needed to see too. Rivas is shot the fuck.
You think he shot?
He looked shot.
He looked rusty to me, not shot. He looked rusty.
Jay, after 2 rounds, I get rust, right? But after 2 rounds, that man was gassed and he was just hanging on.
Bro, think about the situation that Rivas was in. He hadn't fought in a while. That's one. Two, he cut down to bridger weight. He's a bridger weight.
He did cut down 3 pounds right now.
I'm just saying those two things they could make a motherfucker look like shit, and he looked like shit.
What was it? The Dylan White?
I want to see Bobic at cruiserweight. He's better off at cruiserweight.
He's not gonna go down there, bro.
I don't want to see Bobic at all.
No, I like watching Bobic. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm gonna tell you something. Them kids at cruiserweight can actually box. He won't go there. You imagine Bobic versus Breeders, bro.
Shit.
Well, you're going a bit extreme.
Yeah, you're
putting him
right.
with the best
But I
fighter
just
at
figure
cruiserweight,
because
and he
of
hasn't even
how
fought a top
small he
1,000
is,
Bobic
heavyweight.
be better off at cruiser.
Mark. Bobic versus Okoli.
Mate, someone who's not a damn champion. You're not taking this man from southern area level in England and throwing him in there with one of the top 4 fighters at cruiserweight. What are you doing?
I'm just cutting to the chase, bro. That's what I'm doing. I'm cutting to
Right.
the chase. When he get to that upper echelon, can this man
Look, can he beat Richard Riakporhe? That's a better question.
All right. Let me say this. That's a fair question, but we know it's not going to happen because the zone Sky. So there's no point in asking that question. That fight won't happen. Certain fights have to happen. If you want to fight for a belt, you're going to have to fight one of these.
Smith.
That's a good ass. Yo. That's a good ass fight. I think he can beat
What fight?
CBS though.
What fight?
CBS.
Chris Phillips Smith?
Yeah. He get hit too
Yeah,
much.
that is an interesting fight.
He get hit too much. He get hit way like I love watching him fight because he get hit too much. But he get hit too much.
Throw Alan Babbage in the ring with Sleepy Tommy McCarthy. Philip Smith beat him. He's former European champion. He's of some level of ilk. He's a little above British, little below European. Very solid guy. Knows how to box. See if Babbage can deal with that.
Zile Zhang Philippe Hergovic. What happens?
There's a knockout happening in that bitch.
Hergovic knocks him out.
Yeah.
Jay, you know I can't be really honest with you about that because only a few weeks ago I was screaming about putting Zhang in there with him because I was like saying, yeah, he can win. So
you have to feel for Philip Hergovic because nobody wants to fucking fight him. Nobody.
That's the real man. He's the real.
I'm so sorry, Philip.
He's for real, the boogeyman.
I'm very sorry for Philip Hergovic. Let me cry while I realize that all of these 6'6", 240-pound men don't want to punch him in the head. That's such a sad existence.
Olympic medalist too. That vast Olympic background, all that.
It's he has too much hair on his chest, bro. I'm not fighting no hairy chested ass motherfucker, bro. That motherfucker got a whole head of hair on his chest. Like, bro, like I gotta fight him? Nah, shave him, B. Next question.
That's the European style.
Bro. The next thing I'm thinking about, that shit just passed my fucking all right. Brian Castano, Jermel Charlo. I've made it. I think I've been vocal about it that I think that in the rematch, Jermel can make the adjustments to stop this guy. How do y'all see that fight?
I think Charlo.
I think he can because he proved him. I think he wins. I think he'll correct and reflect and correct what didn't go well in the first fight. He can make those adjustments and he could probably stop Castano late in the fight.
Jay, who do you got winning that fight?
Before I answer that, could I ask you a question right quick?
Mm-hmm.
The next time Frank Sanchez's fight, this is anybody on the panel. What type of comforter should I buy?
You should get one. You should get one with frills at the end so that your feet don't get cold if they slip out the comforter. Just get one that's really frilly at the end that has like little tassels and shit.
Get 13.5 dogs. 13.5 dogs of down. And then when you've got that down, that shit, you wrap it all around your head, you put on some lavender candles, and you go to sleep like a good owl, man.
Oh, get a memory foam top.
Okay, nice.
Real shit. Now back to these guys. Brian Castano, Jermel Charlo. How do you see that rematch going?
I kind of see it playing out the same way. Both guys are probably going to go for a KO for sure. I mean, but I see because like Jermel, he righted the wrong in the Tony Harrison rematch. He was losing that fight and he got Tony out of there. So I think that honestly, he's going to realize the urgency of the situation. He's going to do his best to knock out Brian. I think he just might succeed.
And I want to say this about Jermel. That's not the only time that he pulled a knockout out of his ass. He was losing that. He didn't look good with Jackson, and he knocked his ass out.
Yep.
John Jackson. Yeah.
John Jackson.
I remember that. John Jackson was winning handily.
So I kind of, it's like with Brian. Brian is a good fighter. I don't take nothing away from him. But he's literally going to fight the same fucking fight. He's not going to change anything. He's going to go in there. He's going to do the same thing. Mark.
Well, of course, he's a smaller man. He's got to get inside.
That's the
problem. Funny. If only Jamal.
History doesn't always have to
like that. If only Jamal can make adjustments like that.
Damn, y'all calling Castano already?
Es que mira, he's a pressure fighter, bro. He's not going to stop being that. La misma pelea that he fought.
Exactly.
The same fight that he fought with Lara, the same fight that he fought with Sorrow is the same fucking fight he's gonna fight with Charlo again. It's gonna be the same shit. He's gonna try to crowd him, try to get in front of him, and throw a lot of punches.
He's gonna try to smother him. He's gonna try to smother his work. Yeah.
He's not gonna change anything.
So why can't Jamal do that? Why can't he pull knockouts out of his ass like Jamal can?
Because you know why? I believe that when it comes, I don't know how Mel is doing it. I don't know if maybe Mel is slightly smaller and the cut doesn't bother him as much. What I see from Maul is that his power is waning because he's been at middleweight too long. Most people don't realize he's been there for like 4 or 5 years. He's been there a long time, bro.
Hey, I'm asking something. You think the Canelo fight actually happens? When who do you got at that?
I got fucking Canelo knocking him out, bro. Like Jamal is not shit, bro. Like I look, let me say this. Nobody say nothing. I said this months ago. At this point, Jamal is a tune-up. He's a tune-up, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
I believe it. It's just gonna be
like Canelo, yes.
Canelo
for somebody like Canelo after what he accomplished in the
Canelo
last.
had too many fights against champions. He just wants a bump and get good money from PBC. Hopefully,
basically another Yildirim. I'm not saying that Maul is a Yildirim, but you know.
No, but I mean, look, but let's be honest. Everybody, let me ask: if it were Gennady Golovkin going the distance with Juan Montiel, or Demetrius Andrade, or Canelo Alvarez, what would people say?
His critics would not shut the fuck up. They wouldn't let him off the hook. They wouldn't let him off the hook.
So when a guy that he's a fucking boogeyman and all this bullshit, bro, you went 12 rounds with Montiel.
And Montiel was rocking him, bro. Montiel hurt him.
Yeah, it got wobbled. It got wobbled twice.
Yeah, that's the thing about the PBC. That's the thing about the PBC and their pom-pom waving fans. That cognitive dissonance is their way of life. It's their key to everything.
And what people don't realize, which is why I always come back to this, what gets lost on people is they don't notice that the PBC leaves these guys at a wait for too long. Shakur Stevenson,
like David Benavidez.
Listen, Shakur Stevenson, he's already moved up 2 times. Okay, he's already moved up 2. Vasyl Lomachenko has moved up 2 times, but you got a guy in Jermall Charlo who's been at 60 for like 4 fucking years. What are you still doing here? If you're not gonna fight Andre and you're not gonna get Golovkin, then why are you still at middleweight? What are you doing?
Jules, how do you see? I think this was a talking point on Twitter. Plant versus Charlo. How you see that going?
Honestly, in that fight, because he's coming off a knockout and because he don't got a lot of power, I go Charlo.
By way of KO or points?
Yeah, points on it. Activity is what I see.
Who would the judges favor in that? You think they favor Charlo?
Of course, bro. Look.
I actually think Plant would beat him.
I don't think he would beat him. I don't.
No, I think Plant pulls it up. I think Plant goes in there outboxing.
I think he's too long for him. I think he's too big.
You guys are downplaying him getting knocked out in front of his wife and what that might have did to him psychologically.
Hey, man, all I'm gonna say is, look, you're downplaying the fact that Jermall Charlo just had a fight where he fractured his hand against a dude who got knocked out by Munguia in 2 rounds. And he struggled with that dude is gone. Charlo's gone.
No. This is what you're missing. All right. Say
One
what
fight
you
was
will.
at welterweight.
Say what you will about Jermall's boxing. What's not an anecdote is that he can sell more tickets in Texas than Caleb can sell anywhere. Nobody fuck with him. Who fucks with him, bro? Who beat
Tennessee.
Caleb? Go Caleb. Who?
The whole state of Tennessee.
You've got a point. Can I say you've got a point. Nobody fucks with Caleb. But what I do know is in the last 3 years since Charlo, after he became a world champion, he hasn't done more viewing figures than Caleb Plant has on any platform.
Don't do this shit. Don't do this shit. Okay, first and foremost, look at the placement of Caleb's fights. They're on Free Fox, all right? When Jermall was on Free Fox, they brought in like fucking 2 million something viewers. So don't say it's because he got fans. It's because he was on free TV more than Jermall.
He's like 75 years old.
I definitely believe Maul versus Canelo will sell.
Yeah,
because he has a higher profile than Caleb Plant. that's a definite.
He does. He's been around longer. He's been well known. He's more well known. He's been around longer for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
exactly.
Yeah. And the Texas demographic, the fans over there, that he does have some fans in Texas. He does, and obviously Canelo has fans there. So you do good business with that fight. Now I'm not gonna say it does over 1 million because it's too easy to steal a fight. But I do believe.
No, I think it does. I think it does. I think it does.
Because if he did,
I don't know about that. It's too easy to steal a fight, bro.
If he did
It
easy to steal it, bro.
It could maybe break over 900K, probably.
I think it does more than the Plant fight, but I don't know about DK over $1 million or 1.2 at one. No. I don't know about that. But I
He could
say
definitely sell out the Texans football stadium
there
if
you
they
go.
plan on doing that shit, or at the Astros ballpark.
There you go. It'll do good at the gate. That much I'm certain of. At the gate, that shit does numbers.
I think pay-per-view it does because you got to understand too that a lot of the people that because there's people that like MMA and boxing. A lot of the MMA fans wanted to watch that Covington fight, and if there's no MMA or UFC fights, they're all gonna tune in to watch Canelo fight. So I think it does do close to $1 million or about $1 million. Now over $1 million.
I don't know about that. La gente está en olla y no quieren gastar dinero.
500,000. 500,000.
Nah, you tripping.
Nah, it'll do more than that. No, it'll do more than that. It'll do more than that.
I'm saying minimum 500,000 easy. Minimum.
I feel the minimum for that fight is 6. The maximum is 9. I don't think it does $1 million. Not because it's not a good, not because of this and that, but because motherfuckers steal shit.
Yes.
People steal shit.
Yes.
Too easy to steal a fucking fight, bro. Like
millions of people streamed Wilder Fury 2. Millions.
We already know Charles fans don't pay for pay-per-views.
Remember the black hot boxes back in the days, man? Shit, man. That was the days, bro.
The Charlo doubleheader did like what 100,000.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can bank on 5 from Canelo, but Charlo's fans don't buy pay-per-views, bro.
I bought the doubleheader for what it's worth. So
me too. I bought the doubleheader, and I'll say that if you just raw numbers, I feel Canelo Alvarez with Charlo is at least good for 6. Tack on the 100 from the Charlo doubleheader, you're looking at 7, between 7 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll do that, but $1 million? I don't know about that, bro. I don't even know that Floyd. Let's talk about this Floyd shit, bro. He about to fight this fucking kid, man.
I never hear of any pay-per-views doing $1 million nowadays.
Me neither.
Only like Conor McGregor.
I think Canelo could have got a strong dance partner.
Only UFC fights, if anything. Probably $1 million.
So we got Floyd. He's gonna fight this guy on a helipad. This rich kid's son. This rich guy's rich kid. This kid, money talks or money kicks or kicks.
Who the hell is this kid? I never
seen him before, dog. Before I did a video about him, I never seen him. I never heard of him. He's like Paul Hogan or Logan Paul in Arabia. He's a YouTube kid. He does a lot of shit. And
whatever.
Like Floyd said he wasn't gonna do no more of these. So why is he still doing them?
To that I have a question. Is the sky
He's broke? He has to have money troubles. I mean, come on, man.
I think so.
I really think he has. He does have money troubles, and he's just struggling.
Now let me read the super chat. Willie Lynch says Zhang versus Hergovic, good fight, a trash fight. Easy nights work for Hergovic. That's my view of that fight. Easy nights work for Hergovic.
Trash to me.
Cannon fodder. That's shout out to Openda Gates. I appreciate that. If you like somebody get beaten within an inch, if you like to watch somebody getting beaten within an inch of their life, then you'll like that fight. Like if you like seeing people get put in comas and shit like that, then you'll like that fight. You know what I mean?
Not take that fight.
Might die of exhaustion before you
Hergovic will retire Zhang after that shit.
Frankie Sanchez coma.
Bro, is it my imagination or did Zhang go life or death with Jerry Forrest?
Yes, he did.
Well, Michael Hunter just did too.
Michael Hunter just lost to Jerry Forrest. Realistically, he lost.
Realistically, he did. Yo,
to be fair, so the Giant.
Julius, don't you think this Floyd?
I think Hergovic stops Zhang.
Go ahead, Leo.
Don't you think this Floyd Mayweather situation with this kid, because he's a kid, it's not a man like Conor McGregor or
Logan Paul.
That looks bad on your character.
Look, I don't see the. If I am a father, and put my son with a former pound for pound #1 professional boxer in a boxing ring, what is supposed to going to happen?
Mayweather takes a dive. A fucking dive. No, I'm just playing. Look.
No, it makes sense because look, this rich ass motherfuckers don't gonna put this son to be embarrassing in front of millions of people without
Leo,
any guarantee.
Hold on, Leo. To that, let me say, like, it's probably all worked out. Like Floyd probably worked it out with Dude's father that he wouldn't hurt him real bad. You know what I mean? So,
look,
I wouldn't worry.
Look, this is the thing. This is the thing. Look at the proposed location of the match. They're talking about the helipad. If you haven't seen the helipad, Google the helipad with a ring on it. You'll see you can't fit a lot of people on that helipad. So you're talking about just high rollers, really. On top of that, I don't know if Showtime, because it's in Dubai, I don't know if Showtime is even going to pick that up because of the time zone. Like, well, if you do pick it up, when are you going to show it? Are you going to put that on pay-per-view? People here don't give a fuck about that kid. They never even seen him before. They don't fucking know him.
Isn't it like a 10, 11 hour time difference?
Bro,
something like that.
Yo, dog, right now it's Thursday over there, bro. Right now. Fucking Thursday over there,
it's
bro.
Thursday, yeah.
We go over there, we travel time, just like Australia.
Motherfuckers is in the future over there, bro. But real shit, just think, who in America gives a fuck, a wet fuck, about Mayweather versus Money Kicks? Who?
People want to have sex with Floyd?
Hey, like that one kid
going to Dubai.
Did you see that? Did you see the video of that one kid who was like in awe when he saw Floyd?
Bro, that shit was so cringe, bro.
That was so cringe.
Bro, that shit was so...
I would have told that dude, get off your fucking knee. What are you doing?
Bro, I'd have fucking took this sword to his jugular. Like, if you don't get the fuck off your fucking knees, you fucking weirdo, bro.
If that was my kid, I would have smacked the shit out of him, man.
Bro, the shit he was saying was wow. And look, this is what's funny, right? I'm a fan of Mayweather's boxing, believe it or not. When I go back and watch the Cotto fight, the Canelo fight, the Corrales fight, even the Oscar fight, it's like, yo, you can see the difference between him and the guys that are here with us today. You can see they're like, yo, yeah, this dude was the real thing. Granted,
the talent is there, man.
But he's a damn shitty businessman. He definitely does not know what the hell he's doing.
Promoter.
Yo, who
That's what I'm
turns
saying.
EA Sports? You turned down EA Sports to sell KY jelly guns. That's crazy, B. Like, what kind of business sense do you have? Look, somebody left a comment on the last video I did, right? And they were talking about the NFTs that he's trying to sell, right? And in the video that they left a link to, it shows how all of that shit is fraudulent, bro. All them NFTs, all that shit is fraudulent, bro. You really turned down EA to wrap yourself up in this bullshit? You're not no businessman, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You
leave non-fungible tokens alone, man. I need to copy paste out here.
You know why do I feel like if I actually got one of those gel guns, it's defective and that shit would break?
Bro, it'll blow KY jelly all up in your face. The fucking gonna jam, and you'll end up like Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters 2, just full of lubricant. Hugging at
you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm gonna Google what a gel blaster is.
Bro, I never went nowhere in the planet and saw a gel blaster. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Is that for strippers? Is that what they use on this gel blast? Surge. Because
I'm looking at what it is, and I still can't fully explain it.
Bro, you know what that shit is?
If he was smart, he could have been like a spokesperson for Cadillac or something.
But
a gel blaster is like a paintball gun, but instead it's got like gel balls instead of paintballs. Okay,
gel balls. But do they explode?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I haven't exactly tested this out. It's been 2 seconds of Googling, but I would hope so.
Mark, buy a gel blaster. Stop being cheap. Buy one. It's got Mayweather on it, bro.
Jules, could you?
The last time I bought something with Mayweather on it, bro, I fell asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a fucking gel blaster. I'm gonna go on Amazon and buy that shit. I know they got it. I'm gonna buy it.
You can get one for.
It's gonna look like somebody nut in your face.
Bro.
You can. Hold on, let's Google Floyd Mayweather gel blasters.
Let me go on Amazon right now and Google it. Let me go.
Do they even sell it?
I'm about to find out right now if they sell that shit. Mayweather gel blaster.
Might be on the TMT
store. The
store.
Mayweather gel blaster on gel blaster.
Make sure you type in Surge to make sure.
Yeah, I gotta make sure it's the Surge one. It's the Surge edition.
It's $59.
Wasn't that a soda?
There you go. I found it.
Oh shit! How much?
All right, Gel Blaster Surge Toy Blaster, Floyd Mayweather limited edition, shoots eco-friendly water gellets the next evolution in backyard fun and outdoor games for boys and Errol Spence.
Did you just say the word Janet? No.
The bullseye, the bullseye they have on the site is Errol bending over. Like you got to shoot it as real shit, yo.
Yo, it's like a paint gun. It's like a paint gun, but it doesn't leave the stain. In your
I
clothes.
paid $70 for that bullshit.
It's crazy. George Foreman sells grills. This motherfucker sells gel blasters.
But yo, how do you turn down EA Sports to sell gel blasters, bro?
Julius, do you know what is crazy?
Do you know what is
crazy about the situation? Maybe you think about yourself. My stature as a boxer doesn't allow me to be in this video game, right? Okay, but now you're being by the rich guy,
bro.
In the Middle East,
bro. That's how. Look,
What?
like I said, I look. Think about the timeline, Leo. After the Logan Paul fight, which took place in the summer months, right? He said he wasn't going to do no more exhibitions at the press conference, so that only a few months later, in October, because that's what the kid said, that we've been negotiating with Floyd since October. That tells me you have money problems, bro. Something is happening to where the money's drying up because you just did an exhibition with Logan. You said you weren't going to do another one so that you could turn around and start negotiating one in October. That's
All you gotta do is
bro.
put 2 and 2 together.
Bro,
You know, you see that shit.
he ain't got no money. Like, I'm not gonna say because I noticed when he went to Dubai, the same bodyguards that are always with him, they were there. So that tells me that look, the guy has to have some money because he's still paying all of these guys, these bodyguards that he has. If he didn't have no money, then he wouldn't have it to pay those guys. But the same beefy Italian dude, whatever that dude is, the same dude from Always and all them other cats, they was there. So that tell me that he got something, but you doing all this shit for a reason, bro. Gel blasters, NFTs, exhibition matches. You didn't pay Logan Paul his money. It tell me a lot, bro. That dude is pop, bro. The money drying up.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I was just thinking this several years ago that you see him on TV, the HBO 24/7 specials, how he's like spending money left and right, this and that, all these cars. In my mind, I'm like, yo, when he retires, is he investing in something smart? Because something tells me that he's, that money is gonna go away. It's gonna wither away.
Listen,
he invested his money in the PVC, the smartest.
Yeah,
bro.
The smartest.
And when you have doing him a favor. And when you have money like that, see, this is the shit. This is the shit that you don't gotta be a genius to know how to be a hustler. And that's what tells me that, look, for all the shit you hear about your dog, you're not a hustler. Like, you can't, you're not a hustler. You're not. Why? Mm-hmm. You got more startup money to start up a business than the average guy that starts up a business. And you don't need, and you don't need to find some revolutionary shit. Open up a chain of barbershops, a chain of laundromats.
I was going to say real estate. Danny Garcia is investing in real estate. You know what I'm saying?
It's mad money in real estate, bro.
Exactly.
Look at Carl fucking Fox. The man owns a city.
Carl, I'm gonna say this about Carl. Motherfuckers can say what they want about Carl, but that motherfucker's smart, bro. That motherfucker's smart, and he got a bad old chick too. His wife, bad motherfucker.
She looks amazing. She looks amazing with makeup. I agree.
Motherfucker, Jackie Chan.
Y'all know Jamel.
I seen her without her. I thought it was fucking George Groves, mate. I'm not joking.
Come on, though. Now you exaggerating.
On one leg.
Carl Froch's wife, Rachel. Yeah, she's smoking hot. She definitely was. She definitely is.
She's really hot with makeup. I've seen her without her. I'm not joking.
Listen, I'm not judgmental. I'm not against the war paint. I like it. I appreciate the war paint. I appreciate the effort. So can we stop shaming people for wearing makeup? Can we do that?
Look, I'm not shaming her for wearing makeup. I'm just being straight. She looks brilliant with it. She looks horrendous without it.
Let Michelle Joy Phelps be Michelle Joy Phelps. Just leave her ass alone.
Let me tell you something, Mark. It's peacocks in the fucking forest that they got to doll themselves up. It's a spider. He got to do a little dance to get some pussy. It's all part of the game, bro. It's the universe. So if
that's perfectly fine, man. At the end of the day, he goes home where she's wearing makeup. He goes to the arena. She takes it off. He can fight her. It's George Groves. It's fine.
Bro, you
I'm
can
cool.
turn up. Oh, come. It's not fucking George Groves. See, that's what. Come on, B. Come on, B.
I'll tell you who's smoking hot, and I follow her on Facebook. Yocasta Valle.
Esa maldita mujer.
God damn.
Hey, yo, y'all know who's
Esa
hot?
maldita
Y'all know who's hot?
mujer.
Yeah.
God damn, man. Yocasta Valle is fucking woo. That's spicy.
Y'all know who's hot? Who everybody needs to follow? Valerie Laredo.
All right. Hey, listen, guys. All right, chill out. All right.
Charlo posted a wallpaper with plant.
I'm gonna have to go consult.
All right, gentlemen. On that note, I'm gonna go shoot my son with Nerf darts. The gun just came in, and I can't wait to shoot him and use my gigantic Nerf.
Use your eco-friendly
no gel blasters. No gel blasters. Nerf guns.
No gel blasters,
bro.
And the existential question is: does Spence want to fuck Crawford? That's the question.
Yes.
Nipples down.
He wants to get fucked.
Vaseline or no